Hey, what's up, everybody? I want to welcome you to another episode of the Dreamers Pro Daily Recap, where we give you a recap of all of the hot topics that we covered that day. You can catch them in their long format and also catch it fully streaming for free on Apple Podcasts. So, Stephen A. Smith. He's been making all kind of headlines this week. Just yesterday, he made some headlines because he went on 7 p.m. in Brooklyn, Carmelo Anthony's podcast, and they asked him to weigh in on LeBron James, and he kept it a bean, right? Prior to that, he went on another podcast, the Pivot podcast with Ryan Clark and these guys, and he did the same thing. But during his visit on the Pivot podcast, they broached the subject of politics because you guys know Stephen A. Smith has made his entree into the world of politics, and he's decided that this is something that he wants to discuss. And it's fine. You know, I don't think there's anything wrong with exploring some of your interests. But I think the way that he's going about it is he's alienating a lot of people in the process. And I don't know why. I feel like he's doing a lot of pandering. And I don't understand why anybody that has a lot of money feels the need to pander to people. I don't know why, if you had enough money, you wouldn't feel emboldened to just say what you believe in, to hell with it. But that doesn't seem to be the case. And in the process of doing this, he's found himself entangled in a mess with a few people. Bakari Sellers, D.L. Hughley, Willie D, and some other people I can't remember. But one of the people that has been kind of calling him out for some of the things that he's been saying is Roland Martin. And Roland Martin had been on Stephen A. Smith's show 2 years ago, and they had discussed politics. And he told Stephen A. Smith, look, man, I get that you want to get into this world of politics and discuss these things, these serious issues, but he essentially said, I don't think you have 100% grasp on these issues. 2 years later, and it seems to be the same case. So yesterday I was just minding my business, and I saw a video from his channel that popped up on my page that said, get your facts straight. Roland Martin ripped Stephen A. Smith over his Jasmine Crockett take, and it's about a 35-minute segment. So I click on the video to see what Roland Martin was saying, and I thought he was going to say some of what he had already said before. But instead, in this sound, Roland began to speak to the fact that he believes Stephen A. Smith doesn't have a grasp on some of the basic concepts of governance, how things get done, the role that various people play within the government. And he believes that's the reason why he is saying some of the things that he's saying, because he seems to be totally misinformed about the role of these various figures in government. And that's one of the reasons he's saying the things about Jasmine Crockett. So what we want to do is want to play what Roland Martin had to say. It's a very long sound, but we cut it down to the most important part. So take a listen to what he had to say here, and I want to come back and react to his comments. Take a listen to Roland Martin here.
Let me ask you a question, Stephen A. Are you a voter in the 30th Congressional District of Texas? I know who he is, Stephen A. Yep. My homestead in Texas resides in the 30th Congressional District. I am a voter. So when you go on the Pivot and your Sirius XM radio show and CNN and News Nation, and here's the deal, I don't care. Go on all those shows. When you go on all those shows and you say what the voters of the 30th Congressional District did not send Jasmine Crockett to do, how do you know that when you aren't one of them? I am. And the fact of the matter is, Stephen A., the voters of the 30th Congressional District did send Jasmine Crockett to fight MAGA. We did send Jasmine Crockett to fight for the voters. We did send Jasmine Crockett to fight the agenda. Now it's very interesting when you go on television and you sit here and proclaim what the voters of District 30 Okay, Stephen A. This is a fact. This is the results from the November 2024 election. Jasmine Crockett received 84.9% of the votes cast, Stephen A. Where I come from, Stephen A., that's called a resounding victory. When more than 200,000 votes are cast, more than 239,000 votes are cast, and Crockett got 197,650 of them. So it's pretty arrogant of you to say what the voters of the 30th Congressional District did not send her to do when she's doing exactly what the voters sent her to do. So then, Stephen A., you go on and you start talking about how, how she has to work with Trump. No, not really, Stephen A. You love talking about the Constitution. Have you actually read it? I would ask this question of you, Stephen A. Do you know how money is appropriated in the United States? It doesn't start at that building that's 2 blocks from me right now, 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Stephen A., let me help you out. The president presents a budget. Congress is under no obligation, Stephen A., to respond to the president's budget. Do you know why? Go to my iPad, Anthony. It is called the Appropriations Clause, Stephen A. In the United States Constitution, Stephen A., it states that anything dealing with money must originate in the U.S. House of Representatives. The U.S. House, not the White House. So when you go on and on and on talking about how she got to work with this man, no, she doesn't, Stephen A., because he doesn't appropriate money. The House does. And when a bill passes the House, Stephen A., it goes to the Senate. And then the Senate could very well pass their own bill. And if they do, the Senate and the House go into conference. They have to reconcile the bills. Once they reconcile the bills, the House revotes, the Senate revotes, and if passed, it goes to the president for a signature. Now, Stephen A., you said that she needs to work with him. You don't know jack about how things work in the House, Stephen A. You said, oh my God, she got to work with him. Okay, that's interesting. Here's an actual letter. See, what I did, Stephen A., was instead of running my mouth, I actually called. I did research.
Excellent. So you heard what he had to say. Look, guys, Roland is essentially saying, you don't know enough yet to be having such strong opinions. You're saying that Jasmine Crockett, what she's doing is counterproductive. And he's basically entailing what her job description is. And in fact, she's doing what she's supposed to be doing. He said that she's representing the interests of her district, of whom she's a member of. I think the number he quoted was 100,000, the number 750,000 voters. And Roland Martin is also, I believe, one of the voters out there in Texas. He spoke about that aspect of things. He said the fact that he talks about how she's loud and all that. He said, you're loud and demonstrative on ESPN First Take. So how could you criticize her of doing the same? Obviously, what Stephen A. Smith does on ESPN First Take is totally different from what Jasmine Crockett is doing. But in terms of their jobs are, but in terms of the delivery, he's saying that as well. He did double down on the Pivot podcast where he said that he was basically saying that she sounds ratchet, right? And to me, beyond the fact that he may not seem to understand the scope of her job and what she's meant to be doing, I just find it clownish for Stephen A. Smith to be taking such a hardline position against Jasmine Crockett. And I don't support that kind of rhetoric, by the way, but I don't support it across the board. But I find it to be ridiculous for him to be taking such a hard line against her when this is the political. We've done shows about this. I'll give you an example. Just yesterday, people were reacting to the No Kings rally across the United States. I quoted a number. I kept on saying 100. I meant 100,000 people. I believe I was out there in New York. But the total figure is 7 million people that went out to protest across the United States, which makes it the largest protest in the history of the United States. The history of it. Stephen A. Smith is up in arms, hollering and screaming. Apparently, the president posted an AI video of himself flying around in a jet over these cities and these rallies. And do you know what the jet was dropping? Poop. On the people that were out there protesting. Poop. The president of the United States posted a AI video of himself in a fighter jet dropping poop on top of protesters. But Stephen A. Smith is up in arms about Jasmine Crockett's rhetoric. Stephen A. Smith is not serious. And if he is truly the independent that he says he is, why isn't he doing shows about that? And about the things that Laura Loomer says and other voices in government? Because he's grifting. He's the only independent that always attacks the left. How are you an independent when that's all you do? You cannot take Stephen A. Smith seriously when it comes to... He is grifting. Why are you so transfixed on Jasmine? I just gave you... Okay, let's say you didn't hear about it. Where are the videos? Can we go to your channel and point this out? Where are the videos? Go do a video on this AI video of the president dropping poop on top of protesters. You're complaining about the way she conducts herself, yet this is what the president is doing. It's I've said this, but we all know this already. That's why a lot of people are looking at Stephen A. Smith with a side eye. It's like, you're not a serious person. You're not serious. And in his mind, the reason he believes he's right on this accord is because she's a state representative, but he's the president. So therefore, he can do it, but she can't. Just imagine. That is his mindset in all of it. He believes that she's supposed to be beholden and subservient to the president. If she did that, Stephen A. Smith, how would she get voted in? Are we living in Narnia right now? Is this Peter Pan land? Or how else does it work? She's representing her constituents. Her constituents that support her as a Democrat, they don't support the president. So therefore, the policies, the tone, the things she says is meant to be an opposite. But do we live on planet goofy ball? Where are we? What earth are we on right now versus the earth he's on? This guy's like on planet Krypton right now. It's like I'm befuddled by this. And he's so serious about it. Oh, you don't understand. And then the part that gets me in all of this is Stephen A. Smith decided he wanted to jump into politics. When people call him out, he's upset. He's just meant to go out there and say whatever he says unchallenged and just say what he says. He can challenge what other people say. But when people start challenging his point of view on things, all of a sudden they're attacking me. The other day, he said they're trying to cancel him. Can you imagine? They're trying to cancel him because they disagree with him. So if everybody disagreed with you, would you be saying they're trying to cancel you? But forget about that. Your audience members that watch your show, they agree with you. So why are you complaining? Why are you complaining? It's politics. You must know this. If you're complaining about people trying to cancel you now, can you imagine running in a primary? What are you going to go? I can't believe people are saying these harsh things about me. What? So, bro, man, look, man, I don't know what to say. I do not know what to say from this point forward. Stephen A. Smith is making all kind of headlines because of the sit down that he had on Carmelo Anthony's show yesterday, or that was published yesterday. And during this show, he spoke about Kyrie Irving. I think he spoke about some of his former relationships in the NBA. He spoke about his relationship with Carmelo Anthony himself. And he also spoke about the issues that he's been having with LeBron James. And these are the comments that really went really, really viral. So believe it or not, I was actually looking for a thumbnail for the Carmelo pick because we don't really talk much about Carmelo, if any at all, on this channel, except for the time when I was reacting to his Hall of Fame speech. So something just told me to go to his Instagram account, the Instagram account for 7 p.m. in Brooklyn. And then I saw a picture of him. I'm like, okay, this is a good picture. Then I saw some other pictures of the conversation. And something just told me to go to the comments. And would you believe the person I saw in the comments getting at Stephen A. Smith was Terrell Owens. Now, for those of you who may not know, Terrell Owens and Stephen A. Smith are not fans with one another. And I think their beef really kicked off a number of years ago when Terrell Owens came on ESPN First Take back when Max Kellerman was there. And they were talking about Colin Kaepernick trying to re-enter the NFL. And as they were going back and forth, it got to the point where Terrell Owens said something that I think ignited this everlasting beef between these two guys, where Terrell Owens told Stephen A. Smith, it almost seems like Max Kellerman is blacker than you. So for those of you who don't remember that exchange, I want to play it for you now, and then I'm going to come back and continue on the show. Take a listen to these guys here.
Everybody speaking up on behalf of Colin Kaepernick, but Colin Kaepernick. You the one person that don't have anything to say. You step aside while brothers and sisters who know that you were right to want to address police brutality, who know that you were right to want to address racial oppression, who know that you were right when you say that you didn't deserve to be blackballed and you didn't deserve to have your cause politicized. All of us are fighting on behalf of you, but you are the one that won't speak up for yourself. Do you have a problem with that?
Well, I think the thing is, in the black community, like I said, I'm in the streets. I hear what's going on.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
The thing is I think, Stephen A., you have a platform. It's okay to disagree, but it was the way you were going about it. It was almost like you were attacking him. And I think the thing with Colin Kaepernick and the way that things shifted right at the doorstep of this workout is just the transparency. You alluded to the document. As that related, I mean, as I was referring to it with the document, the waiver, again, like I said, when you insert language into something that's not standard, then obviously you have to take time to review those documents. And like I said, they weren't given adequate time to do that. And so to now insert that and then think that he was going to sign it right at the door front, then that's not fair. You giving him, if you're going to give him a fair workout, then give him a fair workout. He was allowed no media access. They were trying to dictate who his receivers were.
I have to stop you there. I have to stop you there. I am on the air right now listening to a Hall of Famer who I believe has had a multitude of opportunities to highlight unfairness that has been exacted from him. Did that stop you from accepting the challenge, knowing that you were walking into situations that were flagrantly unfair, that you were operating behind the eight ball at a disadvantage, courtesy of a system and an entity that obviously had a lot of power and influence to compromise whatever your aspirations were? You do it, I do it. There are people that sit up there. You ain't the only one that accused me of attacking him. I would ask you to recall what I said. What I said is that I have been supporting this man. What I didn't support was you sending, not you, meaning him, sending the message that everything has to be ideal and everything has to be fair in order for me to embrace the challenge to acquire what I have been behind the scenes through my camp telling everybody I want. If you don't want to work out, that's fine. If you think it's unfair and you want, and I know Max, you want to get in, I'm going to bring you in. And you don't think it's fair, that's fine. And you want to get your lawyer, and your lawyer wants to stand up there and say, this waiver is an issue. We're ready to work out, but not until they alter this waiver, etc. That's different. But to not do the workout, to change locations, and then to go and give a speech to the media without taking any questions, any inquiry as to what's really going on, you are leaving others to surmise what the hell happened.
Can I answer that real quick?
Fair.
Tio, do you mind if I jump in, Tio?
Yes, before you do that, but
go ahead.
What I wanted is transparency, Stephen A. And that's like I've done it. I've had incidents throughout the course of my career, and then there have been times where I've gone into interviews where I've done an hour and a half, 2 hours of an interview. And then they break down and they edit, and then you guys get on the show, and there's a panel of people, and then they break down whatever clips that they show. They're not showing the entire hour and a half or 2 hours of that interview that I've done. So what he wanted was transparency for people to see the full workout, to see the full Colin Kaepernick. Again, you mentioned obviously Max is going to get in here, and like I said, I'm in the streets. Max almost seems blacker than you, Stephen A. with what he's coming, with his commentary.
With all due respect, my brother.
I'm just saying, dog.
Wait a minute. Wait to finish.
I'm just saying.
I'm going to check you right now. You don't cross the line.
I'm just saying.
Tell me. Wait a minute. You don't cross the line. First of all, like I said, you, Colin Kaepernick, Eric Reed, any of y'all that want to debate me in front of black people and talk about what's best for black people, name the time and place, I'll show up. I don't want to hear, what's the definition of blackness? Is there a definitive definition of blackness? Why are you giving the impression that because I don't march lockstep with every single thing that Colin Kaepernick wants? Okay, excuse me. Hold on.
I'm not agreeing.
Wait a minute.
I'm not agreeing with everything that Colin Kaepernick has done.
I'm not saying.
Great. So you heard the exchange there. So since that time, Terrell Owens was going on all the Smoke podcasts. He's voiced his opinions on them and da-da-da-da-da. But then it gets to a point where I go to the comment section reacting to this Carmelo post, and I see a comment from Terrell Owens saying, "You're shady too, ninja." You see it there. I'll read it one more time for the people in the back. "You're shady too, ninja." And what I think Terrell Owens is doing here is he's pointing out a behavior that Stephen A. Smith is accusing LeBron James of. I've said this on this channel on numerous occasions. I believe Stephen A. Smith and LeBron James are the same dude, bro. I believe they're the same dude. That's why they don't get along. Their personalities don't. They both some they both some slime balls, man. Based on the moves and things that they did. How do I know this? You just heard what Russell Westbrook said about LeBron, and it's just crazy. Russ says that, then not maybe an hour later, these comments drop. So there, and then the same thing people are saying about LeBron and Russ and saying about these is the same thing other people have said about Stephen A. Smith. And Terrell Owens is just pointing it out. Like, yo, dogs, you use a slime ball, and I agree with him. I agree with him, bro. Like, I agree with him. Yesterday, some comments went viral of something that he said about Kyrie Irving. I didn't hear them yet about his COVID stance, and maybe Kyrie was right. Well, Stephen A. Smith was one of the people that was getting at Kyrie very, very, aggressively. Back when he decided that he didn't want to get vaccinated, and then he said he didn't want to he wouldn't mind getting paid, and he was the one that was attacking him because he was putting himself over the team, as he said. So, for him to now turn around and do an about face on Kyrie Irving, people are calling that out too. He went at Kyrie. He said it's never personal between me and an athlete. And then later on, we found out it was personal between him and Kyrie. So we have been down this road before. This ain't the first time we've seen this. Now, in terms of Terrell Owens, I just feel like Terrell Owens always going to keep that energy for Stephen A. Smith. He's always going to keep, especially after their last brouhaha that they had, their last dust up, where Stephen A. Smith was essentially trying to suggest that Terrell Owens is doing the things that he's doing because he needs money, right? And Terrell Owens took that, he didn't take it the right way, and he went off on his on All the Smoke podcast. You guys can go hunt down that video. We did a show about it a number of years ago, but it seems like it seems like Terrell Owens still got that smoke for Stephen A. Smith. So I'm sure if Stephen A. Smith hears about what Terrell Owens is going to said about him, he most likely will respond. Because don't get it wrong, I think Stephen A. Smith loves all this attention, and for as much as he says he does, I think he does. Because Stephen A. Smith is going to respond to as long as you got a name, he responding to you. As long as you got a name, he responded to Willie D. He responded to this dude. He responded to, as long as you got a name and you said something about him, he gonna get at you. Yesterday, Stephen A. Smith set the world ablaze when he went on Carmelo Anthony's podcast, 7 p.m. in Brooklyn, to voice some of his grievances of LeBron James. And he basically said that he's basically called him a phony. Like, he's with him one way in public and the other way, he's another way in the background. Russell Westbrook came out and said similar things. Some excerpts from this book that was being written. I think it was The Ringer or The Athletic published it. So people were getting at him. So in typical LeBron James fan fashion, LeBron fans are the kings of deflecting. Right? Whenever they don't want to face a subject head on, they deflect. And they start looking for ways to weasel their way out. The conversation is about LeBron being a sleazeball. Right? Even Russell Westbrook said as much. But since LeBron fans don't want to deal with that, what they do is they try to shift the attention off of the fact of what they just said, that son is greasy. They don't want to deal with that, so they now try to shift it. And would you believe the direction that LeBron fans are trying to shift it towards is they don't want to focus on what Stephen A. Smith or Russell Westbrook said about him. No. Instead, they're now pissed off with Carmelo Anthony. They're pissed off with Carmelo because Carmelo Anthony apparently allowed Stephen A. Smith to go on his platform and say those things about LeBron James. And now they're saying Carmelo Anthony is fake. Oh, Carmelo, he's not a real friend. I'm going to read some comments, right? We don't have to put it up here. I'm going to read some comments. One post, I'm going to show you the post here from Sideline Sources. Says Stephen A. Smith calls out LeBron for being fake in public. Let me just read through some of the comments. We ain't got to show it. One account said, the account witness King James, Melo, what were you doing, man? Another guy said, low key, I'm looking at Melo cuz why would you let him get off like that on your boy? Melo, another guy said, Melo ain't moved the entire time, LOL. Another guy said, last time I seen Melo this tight was when he was trying to catch Kevin Garnett. And people just kept on going at Carmelo Anthony all over the internet. Oh, Carmelo's this, Carmelo's that, Carmelo's this, Carmelo's that. I then saw a post that I want to share with you from the account Cultural Millennials. And the guy said, Bob J says, it definitely showed me when he turned on Drake for Kendrick. And I thought to myself, I said, wait a minute. Stephen A. Smith is saying saying LeBron James is fake. He's one way with you in public, and he's a different way behind your back. He puts forth a certain image of himself to the public, but behind the scenes, he grimy. And then I thought about it, and then I put up a post on our channel, and I wrote not too long ago. I said LeBron fans are out here defending him like we didn't just see him sit here and watch him switch up on Drake for Kendrick Lamar. After years of sliming people, he's getting exposed, and they're mad that it's being exposed. then these will be the same people talking about MJ was a terrible person, a drunkard, etc., but want to cry when their king is getting exposed. I said, your day has come too. Now, in typical LeBron James fan fashion, they're trying to scurry and move the argument over here, move the argument over there, move the argument over there. Some of the things that people were saying was, oh, you know, the Drake, I mean, he ain't switch up on Drake. Him and Drake, he was always cool with Kendrick Lamar. LeBron and Drake were mad cool. They hung out together. Drake used to go to his kids' games. We all know this. They were super cool. Then, for whatever reason, I don't know, Kendrick Lamar dropped that song or started beefing with Drake. I don't know why. LeBron is up there dancing it up. Now, some of the people saying, oh, LeBron and Kendrick Lamar are cool. Okay, cool. If you and two guys are cool and they're beefing with one another and one drops a diss song about the other that you're cool with, would you be dancing on stage and dancing and having a good time about it? No, right? You would try to stay neutral. Is that what LeBron did? People are asking for something from Carmelo that LeBron has never done. Oh, why isn't Carmelo loyal? Is LeBron loyal? Did he show loyalty there? You may not like Drake. You don't know Drake. Drake don't know you. But Drake and LeBron were cool, as I assume him and Kendrick are cool. So you talking about Drake is irrelevant. He doesn't know you. And you don't know Drake. You're not friends. You're not a part of their friend group. So they're going at Carmelo. Oh, Carmelo, how could you let that happen? Why would you let that happen? You're supposed to defend your man. Who has LeBron defended? Outside of Bronny, who has he defended? Outside of Bronny, who has he defended? What teammate? Name the teammates you saw LeBron stick up for in the media. We can talk about teammates he threw under the bus, like Kyrie Irving. Publicly. When Kyrie was getting dealt with by the NBA over that post that he put up, what did LeBron say? You got to be more careful about what you put out there and the things that you say. What did Kyrie Irving say? That's LeBron, right? They were thick as thieves. They were thick as thieves. He threw him right under the bus. Right under the bus. People are talking about, oh, LeBron threw you a lifeline, Melo, and this and this and this. Oh. Y'all are unbelievable. Y'all are pitiful. Instead of trying to shift the conversation, let's talk about what's being said. What Carmelo did was, right, he went up there and let his guests speak. If he started going up there and start arguing with, no, Stephen A. don't say that, you look like a bozo, because why'd you invite me up here? You're not about letting the truth speak. You're like, oh, we up here just taking sides. And I heard the interview. Carmelo tried to stick up for LeBron a lot. A lot. He did. A lot. A lot. He tried to push back on many occasions, especially the part where Stephen A. Smith says, if you get at me publicly to try to embarrass me, get at me publicly when you're trying to make amends. Carmelo said, nah, you know how that's going to look. He defended him. But y'all wanted him to do something that LeBron doesn't do for anybody else, which is show loyalty. So instead of addressing what Stephen A. Smith said about him, instead of addressing what Russell Westbrook said about him, you want to attack him because that's LeBron fans for you. These are LeBron James fans. Bro, I don't understand the makeup of a LeBron fan's brain, bro. They're just a totally different set of individuals. So now they want to go with Carmelo Anthony. And you better believe, because LeBron fans are slime balls, you better believe some of them are going to take it to the next stage of talking about, oh, it's because he's Puerto Rican, he don't support black people. Say I'm lying. Say I'm lying. That there are not some people probably watching this show or probably that's going to do a show. Oh, the reason you ain't supporting LeBron is because he Puerto Rican. And after that Hall of Fame induction speech, he ain't riding with black folks no more. That's what he going to say. This is what these clown ass say. So LeBron, that is black. When he threw all of these other black players under the bus, what y'all had to say? Where was your fight the power movement? LeBron fans are not serious people. They should never be taken seriously. Never. Their whole life and their existence is to worship and serve him. They will attack any and everybody for him. They will even go after dead players to protect LeBron. They know black man, black power, none of that there. Ain't no black man, black love. Ain't none of that going on over there when it comes to defense. But then they're going to be the same ones running around with their panties in a bunch and honey dripping down their legs. Oh, why won't you defend LeBron James? We just watched him snake his man this whole summer. With Kendrick Lamar and Drake. I've never seen fighting like that before. Ever. Oh my God, bro. Talk about doing tricks on it. Oh my God. Damn, son, I get you like the song, bro. I get it. You like the song. We get it. Damn. You over there doing backflips and cartwheels? You like the song that much? You got your old man looking at you like, yo, bro, what is this? What is this? They don't want to address that. They want to talk about, oh, why did Carmelo Anthony let him go up there and say that? He getting a little bit, he getting a taste of what he gives. No loyalty. But personally, I don't think Carmelo did anything wrong. Because a real friend gonna hold you, they're gonna keep you accountable. They're gonna hold you accountable. And Carmelo did defend LeBron. What he did not do is twerk like the rest of these other NBA players do. He didn't twerk. He let the man say his piece. Then he responded. But to LeBron fans, don't even let him say his piece. Don't even let him talk. Because you're supposed to defend LeBron. Who LeBron defending? What player is he defending? Dwayne Wade's Hall of Fame. Did you see him there? Now he had the other issue there. How many other times Pablo Torre did a story. Did you see him show up to Kobe's memorial? That's what Pablo Torre said, allegedly. He didn't show up. I know some people that were there. They said he didn't show up. But you guys are begging for something you don't give. Loyalty. LeBron fans are, this fan base they're all clowns. The vast majority of them are all clowns. Then they want to try to play ninjutsu and mind games with you. Oh, what about the Drake? And listen, bro. During that beef, first of all, I'm going to keep it a bean with you. The beef was cool. It was cool. I heard the songs. I think Kendrick Lamar won that beef. There was a song that he did. It was like this kind of like dark sounding song. I was like, damn, he taking this like, goddamn, like they getting really, really personal. So I thought that he won the back and forth, the battle, or however you want to call it. I think he won that. I think he won it. Son, I'm from New York, bro. Like, we don't ride. You guys were riding too hard. Too hard. Like, y'all were like, oh man, did you hear this? He's like, yo, bro, relax, bro. We heard it. We heard it. It's okay, bro. We heard it. No, but did you hear that song? Bro, we heard it. It's cool. We heard it. Some of y'all were riding so hard. Like, this was the greatest beef we ever. Bro, relax. We heard it. We heard it. It was cool. Like, I've heard beefs. Jay-Z versus not like you want to like they was getting at each other. None of those songs I heard was on the level of Ether. That's just my opinion. It was a cool beef, but there was a lot of fighting going on, and LeBron was a part of it to the levels where I didn't understand. Some was doing cartwheels. I'm like, what is this? Like, is this necessary? So y'all are up here crying, oh, LeBron doesn't give any loyalty. I mean, Carmelo didn't give him any loyalty. Carmelo, I'm looking at you sideways. Oh, Carmelo. Next thing they're going to say, look, Carmelo owes you, LeBron, you owe you, LeBron. Man, knock it off. Knock it off. Carmelo don't owe nothing to LeBron. Knock it off. He didn't get to the NBA because of LeBron James. Knock it off. He got to the NBA because of the work that he put in, not LeBron. Knock it off. Y'all stay trying to give this dude credit for something he don't deserve. You don't owe him nothing. He played with LeBron for 1 year in his career. 1 year. Knock it off. Knock it off. He made it on the top 75 team. He never played with LeBron. Knock it off. Oh my God, this fan base, bro. Unbelievable, these people. Unreal. Oh, Carmelo, look at what Carmelo did. Carmelo. Hey, why don't you address what people are saying his son is fake? Why don't y'all go do a video about that? Oh my God, bro. Like, this fan base, man. Good Lord. When is he retiring? Because y'all go, bro. Like, we tired of y'all. Y'all gotta go. Oh my God. And I know when LeBron retires, they're gonna leave. Just leave with him.